Thank you for taking the time to tune in to police misconduct. Here we have super duper tyrant cop Sergeant Michael BORRELL. This officer's been with the Medina Police Department for decades. And here we have Sergeant BORRELL in his natural habitat. He likes to run around and play soldier armed to the teeth. Boy, I'm sure he would love to see me right now in this picture. But in any case, I won't bash him. I'll just let the facts speak for themselves. So here, let's watch this video of how this sergeant conducts himself. He's not used to being questioned. And I'm just going to point a couple things. He's holding a personal cell phone recording me and has a body camera. He keeps putting his hand on his firearm, not in the sense of holding it for security and stability, but in an attempt to do a quick draw. I don't mention nothing about that in this video while I'm videoing him because I can tell he wants to escalate. And I don't even go there, I just ignore it. But it was scary, so here we go.
What's your name and badge number? Morale? The guy who said you were going to run me over jogging? Swear on an oath. You didn't run me over. Wait, hold on, I want to talk to you about these idle running vehicles.
And if you see here, he's putting his hand on that firearm, and I mean holding it. And he's not doing that for security.
Policy of the Medina Police Department? No, I'm asking you. Are you aware that these vehicles are not supposed to be idling with nobody in them? So you don't know that these, Sergeant, you don't know that these vehicles are supposed to not be idling? Why are you shining your flashlight in my face? You need to see my hands? You can check me for a weapon. You can, if you're worried about me having a weapon, feel free to search me, but you're stopping me from recording you, and that's against the law. Take your light out of my face or I will sue you. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to file a complaint and a lawsuit against you. The federal courts have established that police officers can't do what you're doing.
So yeah, and now I'd just like to point out that I was calling to make a complaint, and here's how 911, the dispatcher hung up on me. So I called 911 to speak to a supervisor, and here's how the supervisor at 911 gives it up.
Yeah, hello, who's this?
What can I do for you, Ken?
Can I have your name so I'd like to know who I'm talking to?
No. What can I do for you?
Do you have an ID number or a badge number or any ID there at this
What
badge?
do you want, Ken?
I'd like to know who I'm speaking to, sir, first of all.
No, I'm not going to listen to your... I told you
What?
what you could do to speak to Chief Kenward tomorrow.
So you are aware of my complaint about that your dispatcher there, number one. First of all, what's your name?
I am not going to deal with you, Ken. Goodbye.
And he hung up on me. So, but here was the beginning of the call. I mean, I called there.
Orleans County Dispatch.
I'd like to speak to a supervisor immediately.
For what agency?
For your supervisor.
Hold on a moment.
Supervisor.
And then she kept me on hold for... that's why I just sped it up and played the...
You know who I'm talking to.
No. What can I do for you?
Yeah, so this guy, he's the supervisor, and as you just heard, he refused to give me his name just so I could document the call or any ID, and just hung up on me terminating. So here's how they give it up. The officers, they act the way they do. You go to make a complaint, and the supervisors escalate by refusing to answer your question of what their name is. So when I asked him to identify himself, he escalated because he already knew I was going to make a complaint. And that was his tactic to hang up on me. Because he knew I was going to file a complaint about his dispatcher hanging up on me. I've never heard of a dispatcher. I called up to make a complaint about something, to make a record of it by calling 911. And the dispatcher hung up on me. So when I called back just then and asked to speak to a supervisor immediately, the supervisor refused to identify, giving him, so he could create a hostile environment and terminate the call and the complaint. Dirty tactics. So just be mindful that these officers, they all work together out here in Orleans County, New York State. And that's how this officer here, BORRELL, gives it up. And before I close, I just would like to make everybody aware that if you live out here and you come in contact with this officer, if you've had any interaction with this officer, who I'm just discovering has many complaints, lawsuits, many complaints and lawsuits exposing his true self. And when this officer, when I was talking to him, you know, I just can't believe, you know, he's recording me with his personal cell phone. He has not only does he have his body camera, he's recording me with a cell phone. He's holding it in his left hand. I'm going to get a picture of it. But he is holding that thing. He's holding a camera. Not just his body camera, but in his left hand right here. He's holding it right there. You can see it. There's his camera. He's holding a cell phone, and not only is he recording me with his private phone, he's recording me with his body camera. So that's very interesting. I did notice that. I didn't want to talk to him about that or him holding that thing, that firearm, and escalating. And I'm somebody who has medical conditions. I have a traumatic brain injury. I have nystagmus. And, you know, when they shine these lights in your face like that, that causes me serious pain and problems, and he tries to escalate. And when he came with that tactic about he needs to see my hands, well, I'm a known cop watcher, and they know I don't carry weapons. These officers know me. And what I've done is I've decided to start documenting encounters with them because they act so illegal and unlawful. I've been arrested by these officers. I've been assaulted by these officers. I've made complaints about these officers, and they hate me. And I'm worried about an officer-involved shooting. And then the 911 dispatcher here who dispatches these officers, there's no transparency. There's no ability to make a complaint. You can't even call 911 and ask to speak to a supervisor about a complaint. They will discriminate against you. They racially profile. And I'm not having it. So if you've crossed Officer BORRELL, if you have any information about this tyrant, this super duper tyrant, and I'm getting the whole case about this brutality suit, with not just Michael BORRELL named, but the officer who I'm having trouble with, Officer Joseph Friends. I am so happy I discovered this. And Collins, there's a video coming for about you, and a eval, and a complaint. Reeves, you got a complaint coming too. For sure. All he is. will be held accountable. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to do more than talk about it, please call Chief Chad Kenward at 585-798-5602. Or you could call Mayor Sidiri, same phone number. He's the chief's boss. And not only is he the chief boss, but he's the one who should be taking complaints. This isn't right, and it shouldn't be happening. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Stay safe. Bye for now.